Cumberwell Park welcomes the Europro golfers back again for event number 6 on the tour. A regular tournament venue over the years, this stunning course in the beautiful Wiltshire countryside provides a stern test for the players in conditions that look set to turn the heat up in the competition. Here's what we've got coming up. With one of the best facilities in the country, we have set a short game challenge to test the players' skills to the limits.
He's played an absolute pearler, and I tell you what, that's genius stuff. Sevi, eat your heart out.
We'll have a conversation about conservation as golf and the environment work together in harmony.
We've got some lovely pyramidal orchids which are absolutely fantastic, and they're great for pollinators, the bees and the butterflies. It really adds to the ecology of the course.
From tee to green and everywhere in between, Kit and John will be out and about as always.
Anything just right of this and there's every danger it slides off into that bunker.
It's got the length, I feel, a little bit left of the pin, but it'll do. And the boys, I'll tell you what, birdie chances galore.
And of course, we'll have the best of the action from the final round here at Cumberwell.
John, second successive week down here in the West Country. We're at Cumberwell Park, another place not far from home for you. What can the players expect from the course this week?
Well, Kit, do you know what? It's quite similar to last week. Very bouncy, very hard. The weather's absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's a bit of breeze out there today for the boys. The greens are pure, you know, so they're going to hold a lot of putts. It's not as low scoring as I thought they'd get. I mean, you know, this time last year, there were some serious numbers getting chucked up on that board. I'm not seeing that. I think that wind's playing a factor for them. Bit swirly aroundy out there. I mean, that back nine's giving it up a little bit. The front nine, not so much. You know, they're only a couple under for that front nine, but the back nine is where they're going absolutely ballistic.
6th event of the season, we've had 5 separate winners. The order of merit looking very open, but a few guys up the top there and near the top of this leaderboard. How good an opportunity is this for someone to really grab the order of merit by the horns and take control of this season?
Definitely. Well, we normally see it, don't we, Kit? We do. We normally see it. I mean, the boys, they're unbelievable players. Mark Young, I mean, cracking talent. I mean, great win last week at Clevedon, and I seen him yesterday and he was absolutely buzzing. He said he had it on a piece of string. That's a danger, man, that is, because he ain't finding nothing. We got Scott Fallon, shot 4 under as well. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there, and you got the local boys. I mean, Steve Surrey knows every nook and cranny around this joint. I mean, he finished second to Laurie Carrott, ex-Europro in the Pro-Am, shooting 8 under par. I mean, that was with a bit of an unlucky turn up the last, but I would say Surrey's probably your hot favourite, but it'd be nice to have that second win. I got a feeling Scott or Mark might be there or thereabouts this week.
Great stuff, John. There we have it, a leaderboard packed with ability and plenty of interesting storylines. Let's get to the action and see how the final round unfolds.
And delighted to be joined once again today by Gary Alice and Johnny Morgan. Welcome along, lads.
How you doing, Michael? All right, mate?
Yeah, good stuff. Good to be here.
Lovely jubbly. All right, guys?
Yeah, it is lovely. Down in the West Country again, sun shining. I love it.
Oh, now, Steve Surrey, local boy from Length. Knows every nook and cranny, like I said, and nearly gets off to a cracking start.
He's already had a birdie at the first, almost had another one there.
He did. Very experienced, Steve Surrey. He's been around quite some time, and as you say, John, he knows every inch of Cumberwell.
Yeah, I seen him over at the Shot Clock Masters over in Austria, and I tell you what, he done well there as well, so he's on form.
Steve Robbins had a 66 yesterday to go with his opening 68, but probably going to need something better today.
Here's the big Welshman, Fraser.
Yeah, and the first hole turning into an absolute horror show for him. This is his 5th shot.
Is it really? My goodness.
Yep. So he'll have that for a double bogey. At least he's played a good one. If you're going to find yourself playing your 5th as an approach, you might as well play it well.
Yeah, that really is what you do not want to start your round.
Yeah, proper kick in the teeth. Now Robbins, slightly down the hill this one. Fast putt, and he's read it perfectly, and in she pops.
Bogeyed the first, but he's got it straight back. Played every event so far and was tied 6th at Montrose.
So last week's winner, Mark Young, going along very nicely again. When you hit a bit of form, my dad won 3 on the trot back in the 1950s, and he's at the end of the season came, won the Spanish, Italian and Portuguese Opens, and he was disappointed. They were the last 3 events of the season. He wanted the season to last forever.
I bet he did, Gaz. I bet he did.
He should have put on his own tournament, just kept playing.
Yeah, he should have. Good shout. Now Jackson. at this third, facing down the hill for his second, I think. Big drive off this tee, and that is not bad either. Pin eye right.
That was an enormous drive.
Yeah, huge drive.
Oh, dear.
Ruth has had 69 and 67 so far, but still starts the day with 6 shots to make up.
A lot of very experienced players in this field. James Ruth been around a long time, got a lot of experience, challenge drawing things.
James Fraser there. Favourite course, Soto Grande, down in Spain. Favourite hobby, CrossFit. Not sure that counts as a hobby, too much like hard work, really. Let's hear from him talking to Kit.
You're often the bridesmaid on the Europro Tour, unfortunately. Still looking for that first win after so many second places. Do you do anything different today, or do you just keep banging on the door?
You've just got to try to keep doing what you've done the past 2 rounds too, and because you've got into this position. I mean, if you're in this position coming into the final round, you're obviously doing something right, and if you can do what you've been doing, then you know, if someone beats you, then fair play. But you know, you've just got to stay in the moment, and hopefully it's your day.
What's been the key to your recent improvement on the greens?
Jordan Risdale actually introduced me to this putting drill a couple of weeks ago at Montrose, and we did it a couple of times the day before, and noticed straight away pace was so much better. The amount of times I was just from 30, 40 feet just able to go and just tap the ball in. But then also, you know, the line of the putts were so much closer, and I started noticing that I was holding a lot more from inside 15 to 20 feet. And I although I didn't play last week, you know, I practiced a lot on that and come out straight away this week, and you know, it's been the same thing.
What's the drill? I might need to try it myself.
I'm not telling you.
What about if you win? You've got to share it if you win.
Maybe.
And how would it feel if you did get the win today?
Well, great, because you know, I finally get the monkey off my back. You know, it's you know, like I said, I've had a few seconds now, a few close calls, a few playoff losses. But you know, there's you just got to try. Yeah, it'll feel great, obviously.
Here he goes, and this for a double bogey start. Now, let's see that putt in action. He needs it. He needs it to work off the left-hand side, and she goes. Nice little vote of confidence there. Knowing that the putter's working, always get yourself back in the game if the swing breaks down.
Now, several players from the host club having a really good week, including this man, teenage amateur James Cooper.
Yeah, young talent, this boy. Long putt though, right at the front of this green. Bit like Steve Surrey knows every grain of grass on this golf course. Oh my goodness.
What a good effort. Really, it just shows the academy at Cumberwell, though, the investment that they've made in their juniors and in the facilities here. It's a fantastic venue, I think.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Gaz.
Now, with Fraser's problems, Young has a chance to strengthen his grip very quickly here.
Yeah, this is the ideal start if you can knock this one in. Slightly off the right, and in she goes. Nicely done, Mark. He did this last week at Clevedon, got off to a hot start. Is he going to do it again, I wonder?
And that means Jackson needs this to stay within 2.
Got a chance. It slid away halfway along, didn't it? One of those awkward putts there, just coming over a little ridge. It's difficult when you have those little ridge across the putt, and he didn't, as we could see, manage to read it correctly. I can't believe it. I thought I'd got that. Oh.
Yeah, you're right there, mate. As we see, well, Devonshire boy, James Ruth, should be breaking. He looks like he's aiming pretty straight. Just a little bit of breaker left to right, and in she goes. Lovely.
And after his eagle 2 on this hole yesterday, he's played it in 4 under over the 3 rounds. So Young now 3 ahead of Jackson and Cooper. Anderson and Busher already with quite a bit of ground to make up.
Well, this is the bounce back you need. He's going to drive down the left here, Fraser. Looking straight down an avenue, down to the green that's below him. Big hole tight, high ball flight, needs to land it soft. And he didn't get the soft bounce, just pitching just short, and that's bounding over the green, and that's gonna, well, that's nearly down on the next tee box.
Oh, that's an awkward one there as we pop forward to Steve Surrey. Lovely looking par 3 this one, just a middle iron, looking down onto the green, and he's looking closely. Yeah, very nice shot, pin high.
The third is the first of 4 short holes on this course. As we go to the winner from Studley Wood, Scott Fallon.
Yeah, this man won it installed at Studley. 22 under par record holder on the Europro now. To a high flying wedge shot, spin out of there, get on the green, not quite, but yeah, slightly done on the yardage, but kits with Mark Young. Let's go and have a look.
Through the back of the green, Young's got a tricky little chip here on the second. He's just come into this little bit of rough and it's all swirly, so guaranteeing the contact on the ball is going to be tricky. What he does have to his advantage though, he's on an upslope. That's going to help pop the ball up and it's back into what breeze we have. The green is slightly above him, so he's not going to be able to get a huge amount of spin, but if he can just pop this one up, land it softly, he should be able to nestle it up close to the hole.
We'll rejoin Young in a moment, but first it's Surrey looking to make it 2 birdies in the first 3.
Needs this just on the right edge of the hole, and it should just, never moved at all. He did exactly the line that I would have picked on that.
Yeah, you're bang on, Gary. He's going to feel a little bit hard done by there. That was just, well, an ounce more or less pace, and that was in, but I mean, you're asking quite a lot there. That was a good putt by Steve.
Fraser having some more problems at the second this time.
Yeah, very difficult shot there, because he's so far below the green, he wouldn't really been able to see any more than the top of the flagstick.
Yeah, right there, Gary. Now, Scott Fallon just a bit outdone on a yardage book there. Got his yardages slightly wrong, past the hole. Now, just through the fringe, down and away for birdie. Oh, my son, happy days.
Needs a huge effort today if he's to have any chance of his second win of the season, but going about it the right way there.
Now the crowd's out and about, getting some good golf in. Now that shot of Mark Young, you could hear the contact there, just hitting it a little bit behind the ball, and stroke wide, it's coming up short of the hole.
Hasn't dropped a shot since the 18th in the first round, his only dropped shot of the week so far, but work to do for his par there.
Yeah, good shot, tee shot there on the third from Cooper. Again, pin high. Giving yourself a chance from about 18 feet.
Yeah, like you were saying though, Gary, with the whole setup of what Cumberwell's got, you're going to have some young talent coming through, left, right and centre. They just all want to be there, using all the facilities. We see Fraser, and that's a tough start. Double bogey, bogey start for James. That's hard to take.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, Cumberwell's not the sort of golf course that you're going to be able to recover from a start like that, because people are going to score low. As we look at young Mr. Cooper, which is running well. Ooh, a couple of inches more.
It was indeedy.
Now Mark Young looking to preserve that run of, well, 19 holes in a row without a drop shot.
These are the musts though. Oh, one slides by from such a good position off the tee. Yeah, just going slightly long, caused him and not the great strike on the chip, and that's come out now with a bogey. Birdie bogey start.
And what it all adds up to is Mark Young on 12 under par, leading by 2 from Luke Jackson and this really impressive young amateur James Cooper. Look at Thomas Anderson, picked up 5 shots on the day. He's got to 9 under with 3 to play, and you can see the damage that James Fraser's start has made to his prospects. Now let's hear from one of the well-known members of this club, Lee Probert.
As a Premier League referee, you know a little bit about performing under pressure. What do you like about how you see these guys tackle those situations?
Well, it's interesting. I was talking to some of the lads this morning, and they sort of, what's it like? What's it like at Premier League? And I sort of put it in their country. They're still on the first tee, thinking that ball's got to go down the middle. They've got to shoot well, and they're on the same pressure as us. They just want to do well, perform well, and make sure at the end of the day they're in the cup ready for tomorrow.
Any tips for how you deal with those high pressure situations?
Yeah, you just got to be confident and just believe in what you're doing and what's right. I mean, these boys will know their swings right. They've been on the range this morning. They've been on the putting green. They'll know they're in the right frame of mind, ready to go when they hit that first tee.
Mark Young out in front, but so many good players within striking distance. More from Cumberwell after the break. Welcome back to the final round of the Cumberwell Park Championship here in Wiltshire, where Mark Young, despite that bogey at the second, is still very much in charge of things here as he looks for back-to-back wins on the Europro Tour. He's 12 under par. Luke Jackson and James Cooper, the amateur, on 10 under. Thomas Anderson having a really good round. He and Robbie Bush are both with 3 shots to make up. Busher's got plenty of time to do that. As we resume the action now with Stuart Green, a man who's had a couple of starts on the Challenge Tour over the last couple of weeks in Switzerland and Belgium. Did pretty well in them.
He's from your neck of the woods, isn't he, Michael?
He is, yeah. Another Irishman. Plenty of them doing well on the tour this season.
Yeah, they are playing well, and that's had a nice little nudge in off the cush. Uphill putt from about 7 or 8 feet for a birdie.
We come to our leader. Mark Young staring it down. Looks like he's got a nice lofted club here. Looks like about a 9-iron, I feel. This one's slightly looking down onto the green, over the water, bunker shy of the green, bunker long. Big wide target, get the yardage right, and he has just pulled it a fraction.
Back to Green, who was runner-up behind Paul O'Hara in the opening event this season at Fulford Heath.
Running well, yeah, no messing with that. Boom.
Yes, have it, Gary. I'll tell you what, that was a nice smooth putt. Ball stuck to the ground like glue, as we see Surrey here in a spot of bother, just in a semi-rough down the 5th on the left-hand side.
It's his first event of this season. He played a 9 last season and didn't miss a cut in any of them, and that's quite something. And so was that shot, John.
It was. Talk about get on target.
Nice use of the bunting to drag the ball down there.
Yeah, I think that was going right at the back of the green. I got a bit fortunate there, as we see Jackson in good form. Did well last week at Cleveland. Unlucky not to get in the playoff. But right up there again. And this is his second shot. Everyone going a bit long.
Don't think it's always tricky though, John. There's pins somewhere near the front. I always found those are the most difficult pins.
Yeah, they are. I mean, especially in summertime, you just look, how on earth do I get it close to that when it's so hard and bouncy? Not too bad when it's soft, you can send it past and you know it's going to zip. But as we see Mark here, down the hill, a little bit left or right, but he's lagged that one up, and that'd be, I'm sure that'd be a formality part. Tap that one in.
So, our first opportunity to see how young Cooper can play out the bunker. And that's a very delicate touch. That was a cracking little shot there.
Yeah, he got a lot of height on that. Must have been on a nice little upslope. Got a lot of height. Landed it nice on the downslope and just let the ball feed down towards the hole. Well executed.
Steve Surrey gave a good indication of what was to come this week when he was second in the Pro-Am with a 63. Went out in 29. Carried that form into the main event itself.
There you go. I like to hear that. I'll just clear up. New marking. Pace of play gets a little bit quicker, which is nice. Is to get his par, which he does.
Maybe he's speeding up after his experiences in the Shot Clock Masters, where he actually had a 65 in the second round and was well placed going into the weekend. Fell away a bit after that.
He did. He suits that pace of play, Steve. He's a fast player.
He is, and Fraser. Oh, that's a bit of a relief. I mean, it was a long putt there to save par. Otherwise, his woes would have been continuing ever longer.
Jackson just tidying up, or so he hoped. That's hard to take so early in the round. Gets in your head when that happens.
Yeah, what's going on in that mind of his? Why me?
So Mark Young's par at the third keeps him on 12 under and keeps him 2 ahead of James Cooper and Thomas Anderson, who's continued his great day with another birdie on 16. Robbie Busher and Luke Jackson, both 3 behind, plenty of time to make up that ground, and Neil Raymond, the winner here last year, also having a good day with 6 to go.
So as golfers, we're normally trying to stay out of the thick grass, but here at Cumberwell Park, they've got some that they're very proud of. John, conservation is a real big thing here. Can you just tell us about this area and why it's so important for the golf club?
So this is one of our wildflower meadows. We've got quite a few here at Cumberwell. There's some really nice species of wildflowers in here. We've got some lovely pyramidal orchids, which are absolutely fantastic, and they're great for pollinators, the bees and the butterflies. It really adds to the ecology of the course.
We're surrounded by incredible flowers here, but what kind of animals can you expect to see out here at Cumberwell Park as well?
Munkjack deer, really common. They're lovely to see. We've got some lovely wildfowl down on the lake. Herons, great crested grebes, really nice to see them in the summertime as well. So to look after those and see those around is really nice.
All your hard work here isn't going unnoticed as well. Can you tell us about some of the accolades you've been receiving?
Yeah, I was really fortunate this year. I was nominated as a finalist in the Golf Environment Awards for the Conservation Greenkeeper of the Year. And as a course, we won the Bath Life Magazine Environmental Award, which was amazing, just to really sort of spread the word about what we're doing here and be recognised for it.
And to take a look at these here, orchids, we know, very special. Not many people know much about them, but beautiful flowers. Can you just tell us a little bit about this species?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are pyramidal orchids, not overly common, so that they're great to have here. And yeah, real splash of colour in amongst all the other wildflowers we've got in the course. Superb,
a real treat to see the flowers and all of the animals out on the course here at Cumberwell Park. You might want to keep your ball out of here, but it's well worth having a look on the way past if you get the chance.
Stop and sniff your flowers moment, I guess that's what you look at that. I tell you what, there are a couple of wonderful hares down on the 5th on this. I christened them Harry and Harriet.
Peace and love, Gary, peace and love.
James Cooper will have that to get within 1 of the lead. What a day for him.
Yeah, nice young talent, isn't he? Now Busher, ball below the stance. Going to be probably going in from left to right. That wind howling behind you. You can see the trees rustling there.
65 yesterday for Busher.
Yeah, and he's overcooked it, double crossed it, and that's going to be a tough cookie, that is, from there to try and get that one up and down.
Got a very sort of calm air about him, Cooper. I rather like the look of this. That's a nice run there. Come on. Oh. So near.
Yeah, so near. But yeah, he's got a very calming persona about him. Just very nonchalantly going around the golf course. Doesn't look like he's going to get easily rattled.
Parred all of the first 5 today, but he's had his chances for birdies.
Cool, look at this one. Opening it right up, going for the lob shot. Get some hang time on this one. Trying to land it softly on the green. He done a pretty good job. That wasn't easy.
Now, Mark Young's second shot, looking straight down at the flag here. Lovely line. Come on, run out, keep coming. Great shot. Chance of another one under.
He is indeed. You just see it coming out of the rough here, not able to generate the spin required to pitch it all the way onto the green. He's pitched it just on the upslope and it's run up nicely.
Been around a while now, Steve Surrey. As I said, he makes the occasional appearance on the European Tour, represents the home club. His favourite course is Hillside, former venue of the PGA Championship. And just like you, John, he follows Bristol Rovers, and he's been talking to Kit.
You know it's out there. Are there particular holes you're going to target around here to pick up your shots?
Yeah, I mean, everyone sort of picks up on 9, 10, 11, 12 is sort of the key. If you can, I mean, potentially you could be sort of 5 or 6 under for that stretch. So a lot can change around those holes.
What would it mean to you if you did get a win in front of your home fans on your home course?
Oh, I mean, it'd be brilliant. Yeah, I come second a couple of years ago to Marcus Armitage, and I was sort of pretty gutted after. I'd love to have won an event here. So yeah, it'd be massive.
And since we last saw Surrey, he's parred the 6th and the 7th, and he's just birdied the 8th as we find him on 9.
Yeah, monstrous par 5 this 9th hole. And this one's tracking nicely. He's going to break a little bit right to left, and that's just past hole. Good chip.
Yes, as Steve Surrey said, the scoring on this golf course is all around the turn, isn't it? And you can, as he said, you can jump up several places if you play those holes nicely.
Yeah, just you can. As we see Robbie Busher there, off from the drive, really being on that side of that hill, missing it left, chipping down to there, missing the putt left again. Now Fraser at the 5th, nice tee shot, A1 position. See that flag fluttering slightly down and away on him. Bit of spin late on, he does, just gets it inside Young. Great shot.
Yeah, this is a lovely pitch, very, very steady, narrow stance, only a little more than a half a swing from about 60 yards out. Good contact and a great result.
Is indeed. As we see Surrey here at 9 for the birdie.
This to be out in 32.
Yeah, what a start, Mike, what a start.
So let's go over and join Kit over on the 5th.
I cannot tell you how well judged that approach from Mark Young was there. He took on the risky shot of bouncing it short, which he had to do, judged it to perfection. He's left himself 6 feet below the hole, a hint of right to left, a great opportunity for another birdie.
It's not about how good the approach shots are, it's what you do with them when you get there.
Well, there's that putt Kit's talking about, and you can see him aiming just outside the right of the hole, should move back, oh, and catches the low side. And that's not going to be a birdie, that's going to be a par. Disappointment. And you can see it, look at that, he's not happy.
Not a great start to the day for Busher. Had a birdie at the first, but a couple of dropped shots since then. Man who was runner-up at the Carrick 3 years ago. That remains his best result on the Europro.
Yes, I'm a bit surprised about that, Michael, because I think Robbie Busher's a better player than that. He hits a lot of very, very good shots.
Yeah, started very strong on the Europro. He's just stalled a little bit, but I'm sure the best is yet to come from Robbie. As we see Surrey here at the side at 10. Just hit an iron off the tee, up short of the green, wedge it on, bit late spin. Oh, look at that, what a shot.
That was a cracker. Don't know how it stayed out.
Yeah, nice delay reaction there. Now, just, well, I feel like this, just 2.5 feet for James Fraser. Inside right, be nice and firm. In she goes. Great birdie. Gets one back. Little fist pump for us. Go on, Jamesy.
Fighting the good fight after that wretched start that he had. Now Thomas Anderson, parred 17 to stay at 10 under. He's got this to birdie the last for a 64.
Oh, tell you what, still going to be a great round nonetheless. And he's finished well. Good round of golf. That's going to be
Worth a shilling or two come the end of the day.
just a bit. Now Robbie to finish off after a lovely tee shot. Yeah, gets his 2.
Nice. Wasn't a nice stroke.
Oh, go on, give yourself a pat on the back, mate. Many times you hit a good stroke and they don't go in.
So Anderson finishes off. He got off to a flying start, 3 birdies in the first 5, and enjoyed another scoring burst on the back 9. A 65 to finish the week. Who knows, maybe it'll be good enough. 10 under.
Yeah, it sets a target, but here we have Steve Surrey, who is flying along at the moment.
He is, Gary. He birdied the 8th, he birdied the 9th. Now he's birdied the 10th for the 3rd day in a row. That's the hat-trick, and it gets Steve Surrey to within 1 of the lead in this final round. Mark Young on 12 under after 5. Steve Surrey we've just seen get within 1 of him. Thomas Anderson in the clubhouse. It's going to be a long, long wait for him, but it was a good wait for Mark Young last week after he had posted a target. James Cooper still very much in the running as well after his solid start. So it's all very congested at the top of the leaderboard. Mark Young chasing back-to-back wins. We'll see his continued progress in a moment. It's the final round of the Cumberwell Park Championship on the Europro Tour, and Mark Young, who won last week at Clevedon, may well win here again. He's just parred the 6th to stay at 12 under par. One ahead of Steve Surrey, who's very much on the charge at the moment. On his first appearance on the Europro this season, Thomas Anderson is in the clubhouse already. On 10 under, James Cooper is on the same score. He's still got 12 holes to go. And a mention for Brian Casey, the Irishman, creeping onto the first page there with a 65. He's in on 8 under.
Yeah, well, Scott Fallon at the side of the 11th, a third shot on the uphill. He's got it back in the stance, weight forward, plenty of green to work with, bump and run it down there. And he got the length right, just the accuracy slightly out. Bit of work to be done.
Tee shot, 7th hole, par 3, Cooper.
Parred every hole so far today.
Another very neat swing, little punch down the hill there. That's a fantastic shot. Oh, 18 inches away.
Yeah,
almost a gimme.
Yeah, awesome, Gary. Top shot that was, staring it right down. You knew that was going to be good.
Now, he isn't the only amateur from Cumberwell Park in contention to win this. Couple of birdies, couple of bogeys so far for Lee. So he's where he started at 7 under.
Lengthy number there, getting it near hole side as we see Cooper here. Can he polish it off, Gary? Yes, he can.
That's his first birdie of the day after those 6 straight pars.
And Scott Fallon's birdie attempt from just over a yard. Brushed in very nonchalantly.
Yeah, very confident that was, Gary. Walking after that.
He had every reason to be. He's birdied it in every round.
Yeah, fair play. Now, Mark Young at the 7th. Stare right down at this green. Very lofty club. Got the tee up today. Pin near the front. Got to fly it all the way. Oh, he's done it. Oh, what a shot. Right down the stick.
Great shot, Mark.
There we go. Applause from the crowds.
Now, local man Lee, his little tap in for his birdie.
Bit more than a tap in for Young, but he'll still fancy this to get to 13 under and give himself a bit of breathing space.
Naughty putter. Naughty putter. Yeah, there's a few good chances Mark's had already in this round, and there's another one that slipped by. A little bit of work to be done. Compose yourself. Yeah, well, that's a par. Should have been a 2, and he knows it. Shake of the head.
Still got plenty to be cheerful about, though. On 12 under after 7, he still leads by 1. James Ruth is now in that group alongside Surrey and Cooper, just 1 behind. And Will Brown going very well. He's joined Anderson, who's in the clubhouse, on 10 under par.
Robbie Busher.
Yeah, he's been hanging into contention, but it could all be coming to an end from here. This is his 5th shot at the 9th.
Yes, it's he's had some trouble here, and that was a good shot in, but no doubt found some trouble.
Yeah, probably off the tee as well. Good tee shot that 9th. We see Young here. Strong hole here at 8. Nice shot. They'll be hitting long irons, maybe a little 3-wood up the right-hand side, leaving himself a wedge 9-iron in. And that is a lovely shot by Mark.
Playing well, but let's go across to John, who's on the 11th tee.
Here we go, the 11th, started back-to-back par 5s. And what a cracking eagle opportunity. I mean, just come off a great risk and reward par 4 on 10. Boys will be able to drive that baby, maybe make an eagle. Come here, you can make back-to-back eagles. 491 yards, par 5, like I say. You can see the bunker in the distance. Some of the players will just probably get an iron out and just play it as a 3-shotter. But you know me, take it over these massive trees. You can take it way right at the biggest pinnacle there that you can see. Just right at that one with a bit of fade. Honestly, you're a long way down there. There's a little ditch about 260 to carry. Honestly, you flirt with that one, you're going in with a flick. The boys will be dominating this bad boy. Now, all in room, give it a whack. Now out with driver, straight over the corner, no holding back. No, I've crunched that one. If that's got the right line, I'm waiting for the big thumbs up, but that's got to be mint. What a golden opportunity to make eagle. I've got like a little soft 9-iron. I mean, I could probably force a wedge there. It's only 130 yards, but, you know, not loosened up properly. I need a nice little soft fade, so I'm going to take a little bit off it. So I've got the 9-iron. I'm going to grip down the shaft and play a nice little one to the middle of the surface. And I tell you, that'll do me. Rock on, Tommy. Eagle time.
And as Surrey comes to these back-to-back par 5s, he's on a run of 3 birdies in a row.
He's going to fancy this. Just gone slightly through the fairway, off the tee, on the left, ball below the stance. Drifting this one in, pins on the left. Oh, and it's scuttled over. It's a little bit down slopey if it goes a bit further, but no, he's all right.
As you could hear, he said it came out like a rocket, and that was the result.
Yeah, he got a good man on the bag this week, old Rich Maunder.
Busher trying to keep his hopes alive here. Really can't afford a 7 at this stage. Well, that's what he's going to have, I'm afraid.
Now, can we see a putt going, Gary? What do you think?
I think it's about time, because he's hit some good ones. But again, he must keep this just inside the edge of the hole.
Yeah, another one dressed by for Mark Young. I mean, he is playing some sublime golf, but the putter's just lacking. Now, Surrey here, very feet together, back of the stance, hands forward, pop it, get it running. It's nice. Hold up, bull, hold up.
Just looks from the back of that green as though it should break a little bit towards the right, and it never does.
Busher's chances of that first ever Euro Pro win may just be slipping away here. There are some decent chances on the back 9, but possibly left himself with too much to do after this double bogey 7 to finish his front 9.
Yeah, that's a real kick where most players will be making birdie.
Yeah, it's going to hurt Gary. Now, Surrey to make it 4 in a row. Can he do it? Here at 11 for birdie. Yes, he can. He's on a roll. He's on a charge. He wants his trophy.
4 in a row, as you say, John. It's 5 birdies in total for him today, and no dropped shots, so he's now in a tie for the lead with Young. They're both 12 under, as Young's frustrations with the short stick continue.
Yeah, Busher in a spot of bother here. Gary up on top of the hill, playing one down. This ain't going to be easy. It's come out nice. Come on, keep going. Keep going. Oh, that's done so well. And the claps from the crowd say it all.
Cooper did have an eagle putt, which would have put him in the outright lead. This is where it's finished, and this is to join Surrey and Young at 12 under.
I'm loving it. It's great. It's all some very good golf. These lovely little fist pumps.
Yeah, I tell you what, try and pick one now though, Gary. Not easy.
That completes a front 9 of 33 for Cooper. Fallon to get within 1. So close for the man who holds the all-time Euro Pro Tour aggregate record of 22 under with his win just a few weeks back.
Now Busher, this will be some up and down for birdie. Here at 10, pulled it left off the tee, up on the bank. Now straight up the hill, little bit of turn in it. Yes.
We've mentioned the back-to-back par 5s here on 11 and 12. If this goes in, Lee will have birdied them both in every round.
And he has.
Remarkable to see 2 amateurs in contention, and both from the host club. So we go back to Young, who's had 6 pars in a row now and looking to make something happen. The only par 5 on the front 9.
Up on the hill, catches the breeze a bit, this one, and it's a big, big par 5. And he's given that a decent old spank, but it'll be just a little bit awkward coming over those hollows and the edge of the bunker to get close to the pin.
Yeah, we're at 15, Gary, and what a monster this is. 482 yards. Plays one of the hardest holes on the golf course. Sweeps round from left to right. You can see the 3 bunkers on the left-hand side there. The boys will be hitting driver or a long iron, coming up short of those bunkers or taking them on. It leaves you a really tricky second into a long, narrow green, and you miss this green left or right, it's going to be a hard up and down, and this is why it's the hardest hole on the golf course for the chaps this week.
And playing 15 is Will Brown, yet another player from the home course, although he is a professional and he's 4 under for the day.
Yeah, this 15th has an enormously long green. It's over 50 yards.
It is. It's a beast, and that is a cracking shot with that front right pin. Not easy at all. Get some elevation here. Look at this. Drags it down, pops it out. You know that's got some serious hang time to it.
Young will be desperate to get back on the birdie trail after those missed opportunities, and it's a great chance here at the first par 5, the 9th. He's left himself a little pitch in with a wedge. Only going to be about a half swing. The key here, can he control the trajectory and the spin to get to quite an accessible flag? Very sensibly, he's having a walk up to the green to check it. He's really going to want to make this birdie, having missed 2 great opportunities on the previous couple of holes.
Nice day at the office for these chaps, and there's that shot Kit's been telling us about. Now, how's he going to play it? In the rough, looks to be sat down a bit. He pops it up nice and high. Is it going to release? It does. Oh, this is nice. Just past the flag. Another golden opportunity for yet another birdie.
So he might be going to 13 under, but Cooper, if he makes this, will still be in that tie for the lead for the time being at least.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating. Ounce more energy and that is in.
And here is Young's chance to reclaim the outright lead.
And very tricky green to read this one, but firm in the middle.
That's painful, Gary. Very painful.
Yeah, it certainly is. But as I say, it is an awkward green. It looks predominantly flat, but there are lots and lots of subtle little runs, and as you can see, it's very easy to read a little bit too much into the break.
Yeah, he's been doing that. Now Brown down the slope.
Can get within a shot of the lead here after Young missed that birdie putt.
Oh, what a birdie. You won't see many of them today. And a fist pump, he knows. Played that hole extremely well. What a second shot in there to set that up.
That really is a bit special, because that is one tough hole. As we have a look at Steve Surrey from the sand, bit awkward, foot on the under the bank. As you could see, it was obviously right under the lip, but with great skill and a lot of experience, he's hauled it out relatively close.
Young made an aggressive play off the tee here, and he's chased his tee shot just short of the green, but still not an easy birdie. He's chipping off of a downslope and the whole green slopes away. He'll need to be delicate to get it close, and you know he's thinking he wants to knock it stone dead. His putting confidence is bound to have been knocked by those misses for birdie on the last few holes. He can't afford to let another chance like this slide by.
Well, Kit's hit the nail on the head on that one. Mark, desperate to get this one hole side for a little tap in, take the pressure off the putter. And a very aggressive play, like Kit was saying, just short of the green, roll it up there, should take the contours from left to right, but he's overdone it. That's going to be a slick little number down the slope from right to left.
No, I'd have gone far enough away and found his distance.
And nothing makes you feel old quite like seeing a really good golfer who was born in the 21st century. But that's James Cooper, only 18 years of age. His favourite player, Rory McIlroy, probably seems like something of a veteran to him because he was born in the 80s.
You've been a member here at Cumberwell Park since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. Yeah. How much of an impact has being at a club like this had on your development?
Oh, massive. Obviously the facilities you've got here are incredible. You know, they're the best in the Southwest. So it's definitely helped my game and developed it to where I am today. So without Cumberwell and all their support, I wouldn't be in this position right now. So yeah, they've been a massive, boost for me.
Of course, Steve Surrey's a member here as well. He says he plays a fair bit of golf with you. You've got Laurie Cantor on the European Tour. How much does it help to have these guys to look up to and play alongside?
Oh, it's massive. Like, I play a lot with Steve and Laurie sort of during the week, and we have a lot of fun, and it's great to sort of, you know, try and compete against them, and it really shows sort of what level they're at and where I've got to be. So yeah, it's a real help for me.
What a feat it would be to win a pro event as an amateur. Phil Mickelson did it on the PGA Tour, Ben Crenshaw, Aaron Baddeley I think as well. Slightly higher level than this, but it would still be some feat to win as an amateur.
It would indeed. Showing no fears. That one just gets out of the first cut onto the fairway, which is Andy, as we see Surrey now, to save his par at 12.
And stay in that tie for the lead.
That's some up and down from that bunker, right under the lip. All his power, effort, imagination comes off.
Yes, Mark Young would certainly like a little of the putting juice that Steve Surrey's been taking.
Come on, wouldn't he, Gary? Down the slope, you said, is this his length? Oh, not to be.
And you just think if the putter had been in any way hot, he could have been out of sight by now and they could all have been playing for second behind him.
They certainly could, Michael. Now, back to Mr. Cooper. I think you'd suit a hairstyle like young Cooper's, John, but I'm not sure you can grow enough.
Yeah, those days are gone now, Gary. But yeah, thanks for reminding me, mate. I'd have just bleached mine a funny colour, though. I think that's why it fell out.
So since Young birdied the first and bogeyed the second, he's had 8 pars in a row, but it's been a frustrating story along the way.
Well, he's got back-to-back par 5s coming up now. He can have a go at those.
And here is Cooper playing the first of those par 5s, looking to birdie it and get into a share of the lead. No problem at all, perfectly judged. And what it all means is that there are 3 men, one of them only just a man, tied for the lead on 12 under par at the top. Steve Surrey 5 under for the day, James Cooper a couple under. Frustrations for Young, but they're the ones leading the way. Now later we'll see the players test their short game skills. First let's hear about the setting for that challenge.
From a professional's point of view, John, how important is it to be able to have a facility like this?
Well, it's the biggest thing you could ever ask for as a professional golfer. When you know, many years on tour, you harness your skills on a complex like this, which to me is absolutely breathtaking, phenomenal. Everyone that, you know, they loved their short game would wish this was in their back garden, you know, and they were, you know, a member of a golf club that had this. I mean, it's so fortunate James Edwards has come along and designed this big bad boy, which is just unbelievable. I mean, I'm so impressed with it.
Yeah, James, from a design perspective, how much thought goes into making sure you're covering all bases here?
Lots and lots and lots. We're talking 20 years of playing golf, playing with John, playing with anyone who cares to want to improve their short game. But effectively, we all know the differences in short game. We all know the tactics and the different variety of shots that is available. And sometimes these short game facilities don't actually have the variety because they're only 200 square metres or 300 square metres at most people's golf clubs. Whereas here we have 1,700 square metres of actual surface, of actual green surface on a 2-acre site. So clearly that's unusual. And then we have an unusual thing in that the client, the James family, is a visionary client, so they want to produce the next level of facility.
John, you've played and visited golf courses all around the world.
Yeah.
Just how good is this one at Cumberwell Park?
Well, this is the best I've ever seen. I mean, I've played PGA Tour events, I've played European Tour events, I've been, you know, seen majors, not played them, but been to all these top quality performance enhancing, you know, academies, and this one just is the icing on the cake for me. I come here and I'd never leave it.
It's Surrey, Cooper and Young sharing the lead as they head into the closing stretch at Cumberwell Park. It's anyone's guess who's going to win this Cumberwell Park Championship in the glorious sunshine which has been the hallmark of the summer of 2018. 3 players tied for the lead and the top 5 all covered by just a single shot. Surrey, Cooper and Young all into the back 9 now, all at 12 under. Brown and Ruth both 11 under par and looking to squeeze out another birdie or 2 towards the finish to give themselves a chance.
Well, this 16th, pretty as a button. What a beautiful par 3. 172 yards down the hill. Got this wind off my left-hand side, straight from left to right. Pin on the left-hand side as well. Ideally, you want to hit a nice little low draw, hold it up into that wind, and when it lands on this green, which faces you as well, land nice and softly. You can control your spin, ball flight, everything. You overcook it down the left, or you slightly miss-hit it, waterbound, guaranteed. Best miss, out on the right-hand side. That's going to leave you a tricky second shot, though. Now, just at the right edge of that front bunker, which is guarding just over the water, and hold it up, swing it in there. I tell you what, I've got the draw, but that wind is holding it up for fun. And there he is, absolutely fine and dandy in the middle of the putting surface. But you know, these boys are good. They just want to pin it, don't they? They want hole-in-one on here. It's a great hole.
Will Brown here finished last season by missing 9 cuts in a row. Big improvement in his first appearance of this season, however.
Yeah, good swing there. Just leaking out to the right. That's why he's leaning. He's having a look, and that should feed in a bit more. No, not to be. But what about this swing, Gary?
Again, it's another swing that's nicely up and down on plane. Looked a good shot. Obviously just left the club face fractionally open for it to be on the right there.
Lower half, really working hard, as we see Young here down the right of 11. Took it over the trees with the drive. He's got a very lofty club out. Great line in where that pin is today on the left-hand side. And bounds over the back. Hold on, hold on. Yeah, not a bad lie for his third coming up. He's not happy.
Yeah, he hasn't made a birdie since he had one at the first hole, but if he can get up and down from there, he'll change that. Meanwhile, this is to tie for the lead, but a lot to ask from here.
There's a long way to judge when you're coming off, but it's a great effort. Oh, look at that. It was really some shot. Whoa.
Mate, happy days. Look at that. Shaking his head in disbelief. I can't believe I hold that one. I tell you, it's one of those. It's a peculiar green, that one. Really slopey and fast. And, well, look at the draw.
So we see Young in a similar position to where Surrey was. Slightly different approach. A little bit straighter face club. And he had the line, but didn't have the length.
Yeah, he's left himself that length again, though, Gary. As we come to this 17th hole, 351 yards. And I tell you what, you can see the average playing well below the par. Loads of eagles here. The boys will be getting out driver and taking it on. A little funnel there just on the right hand side. You see that bunker, that will catch a lot of the balls, but the players go out of bounds left, out of bounds right. They can find danger, but if they get smoke an absolute driver down the right hand side, they can find this putting surface, and that will set them up a golden opportunity to go up 18 with a big spring in their step.
So, having told us all about it, John, can Mr. Brown do that? He looks like he's got a pretty big weapon out.
6 birdies in the last 8 holes now for Brown.
Beautifully followed in the azure sky, and I think he's gone in your bunker.
He has indeed, Gary. He has indeed, and that's going to be a long bunker shot. I think you're going to see a lot of this. These players winding one up just like this man here, clearing themselves out of the way, rip a driver and try and get it on the green.
Now here's a man who's been so consistent this season. He's made the cut in all 4 events he's played, and he's finished in the top 20 in all of them, including finishing joint second in the shortened event at Montrose.
I think a little in off the cush of the buggy there, isn't it, by the sounds of that?
Yeah, it went the opposite direction, I think, though, Gary.
Yeah. Who left that buggy there?
Young's run of pars is finally over. He re-establishes sole possession of the lead on 13 under.
Well, this is that long bunker shot I'm telling you about. You can only just see his head. Steep face on this one. Got some distance to carry, and he hasn't quite caught it. And that's going to leave himself a lengthy number for his birdie effort. Yeah, you can see the face here. He's going to obviously take too much sand here, Gary.
Yes, I guess, you know, just that little bit of doubt. I've got to get it up over a high bank and yet still hit the ball 25 yards.
Yeah, as we see Fraser here. Similar putt to Young, and he gets that one in.
So maybe still hope for him. He's 3 behind. We heard earlier about the great short game facilities here. Now it's time to see how the players coped with a series of challenges set for them by John.
Here we are, short game knockout. 32 of the top players on the Europro Tour going head-to-head, knockout as you like. And I tell you what, one-shot wonder, that's all you get. Or you're on your bike, you're out of here. Now the boys are all there. Are you jet set and ready to go, chaps? Come on! Oh, using a bank, got the chubby checker. You are out, sunshine. See you later, alligator. On your bike. Here we go, second shot it is. Now on a level playing field to a nice yellow flag here, number 10. You can see it just over a big ridge here, big dip running up to it. They'll be pitching it in that bank, one big hop and a load of stop. Oh, he's played one, he's through to the next round. Oh, it's a bit duffy. Well, that completes round 2. We're off to the last 8 now, and we're going to the blue course, which is a downhiller, absolute perler.
These players absolutely love a challenge like this. Rick Jackson, they're playing one in beautifully. Steve Surrey, again, just having to flip one up, tests all their skills. Make no mistake, the challenge that John set here really is pretty demanding for these players. It may look simple, but it ain't. As you can hear, they're all having a bit of fun. Scott Fallon pitching his way down and getting himself into the semis. Oh, great shot.
Semi-final time.
Yeah, you need a little bit of luck and you need to get a good quality of strike.
Here it comes, it's coming in hot and it's going on that second tail, but he got some serious munch on that one and that is short and the door is open. He's coming in really low, using the contours, and look at this one, he's played a beauty. It's a bit heavy-handed, it might be a measurement here, just gone round the back and off the green she goes.
I'm going to pitch it just below the tier and hopefully it'll bounce up close.
He's got, looks like to be quite a lofty club. He's coming in high and hot to trot. I think it's flown it. Oh, and that's a bit past. There's a big gap there for Scotty to fill. Can he pull off a nice shot here? He's hit the first bank, and I tell you what, that's going to be enough. I'll save the best till last, the grand final, Steve Surrey against Scott Fallon. Now, what a shot this is. They're in there, they're going to have both feet in the bunker on a downslope, getting it up quickly, going to need to spin it. I'll tell you what, may the best man win. Bring it on, boys. Oh, he's played a beauty, straight off the word go, but it's had a sharp first banks. Here we go. And he sculled it, but that's first effort. There's another few to go. He's played an absolute perler, and I tell you what, that's genius stuff. Sevy, eat your heart out. Oh, he's played a perler. He's played an absolute beauty. He's only gone inside him. Look at that. What a shot. It's down to the wire. He's played another one. He's got the bounce. It's released forward. This is a majestic shot. Releasing down. And that is 1.5 feet away. What a shot by Steve Surrey. Straight underneath it, trying to bite off a bit more than he could chew, and Steve Surrey's your winner.
Steve, you're the short game champion. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's nice to get a victory in before the week started. It's good fun. Got a bit lucky with some of my opponents in the early stages, but hit a couple of nice shots there in the final, so yeah, very happy.
Yeah, good bit of fun before the serious business started. Steve Surrey, the winner. He might win this as well. He birdied the short 13th. He's parred 14, so he's tied for the lead now with Young on 13 under. This man just one back.
Yeah, Cooper's second shot on this 12th hole. Trying to bring it in from the right-hand side. And he's doing very nicely.
Got to mention Steve Surrey was also second in the Pro-Am, a shot behind Laurie Cantor, who had an extraordinary round. He was level par through 8, but finished 9 under. Came back in 28 to take Pro-Am honours.
Yeah, some good scoring around this golf course, and that one just come up shy. Bit of work to be done. And you're going to be a little bit disappointed. That driver in the bunker splashed out of there, as we see James Ruth now with that shot, Gary.
Ah, yes. Got them to move the buggy back a couple of feet so he can use the old Texas wedge, and that really was a Texas wedge. And it's Texas wedging itself along. That's wonderful judgment of pace.
It was. I mean, that was really hard pound there. I know he's probably wanting to chip it, but he was frightened of the bounce one and the bunker over the back and the water. As we see this man get his par on 17 and he heads towards 18.
It's a huge chance for Cooper now. This is to leapfrog the men in front of him and become the outright leader.
Oh, the adrenaline's got hold of him. And that is going to be a nervy one coming back for his birdie. Heavy-handed there on the first attempt. Now, what an up and down this would be, Gary.
It really would. And I think after such a good first effort, he must fancy it. Again, just on the left edge of the hole. Stay there. Go on. Yes.
We like seeing things like that. Brilliant playing with Sam Connor.
Par via bounce off the buggy.
Yeah, brilliant. Now Cooper. No, this is not what you want. You want to hold this for birdie. He doesn't. That's going to feel like a drop shot after hitting the green in 2 on a par 5. Yeah, frustrations there.
When you get to my age and you wake up in the morning, you think, how did I get that bruise on me?
Yeah, you would. Well, look how the wind has got up here for Surrey at 16. It is blowing a hoolie now, opening up, and that makes this shot a lot more difficult. Stroke-wise, come up a bit shy and right. The wind's affected that ball flight.
16 is actually the longest of the par 3s here, of which there are 4. Now can Brown squeeze out one more birdie and give himself a chance? Well, he's left himself a lot to do.
Bunker to bunker, Avenues packed, trying to get away from the jack. And look at this, again, taking too much sand again, Gary.
Yes, you can see you get the elevation there, but that's a very awkward shot there, sort of 50-yard bunker shot with another bunker in your way. What nightmares are made of.
Yeah, well, we're seeing Young launch his second shot here at 12. Can he get there? Oh, he's got it on line, he's scampering. It's getting there, it has. That's a great shot.
Stay there, stop. Whoa.
That's amazing, look at that. Just a little false front, but it's just holding on. Yes.
Not that far away from where Cooper was in 2 on that hole a few minutes ago.
Cricket pitch length, this one. Keep it up on the right, and then it'll feed back down. It's running well. Oh, yeah, that was a good putt from that range.
Yeah, top touch there, Gaz. Very nice. Got to be pretty relaxing when you're playing at your home golf course. As we see Brown now with his 3rd attempt. Not much green to work with, just get some height. Oh, he's using a contour. He's come out low, he's trying to scuttle this one on. And that's going to leave him a bit of work to be done. Real slick one from right to left to save his par from there.
Young is aboard the par 5 12th in 2 blows, but he's got a little bit unlucky. His ball has just rolled up to the apron. That gives him a decision to make. Often you'll see players belly a little wedge here just to make sure no grass gets caught between the ball and the club face. I think he can safely take putter though. It shouldn't affect him too much, but it's certainly something that will be in his mind as he stood over this putt.
Well, he birdied this hole in the first round. He birdied it again in the second round. This to go one better today, and it will be a massive move in this tournament.
Yeah, long putt. Well, we've seen Cooper race it by. This one, I feel, won't be doing anything like that. It's still gone past the hole, but that's a couple of feet left to get his birdie. Not a bad putt there.
Now, the challenge of Scott Fallon looks to be coming to an end here on 15. This is for double bogey.
Yeah, and that's fallen by the wayside, and that's going to be a tap in for a triple. And this is what this 15th hole does to you. This is why it's ranked the hardest hole on the golf course. Slightly off-peak drive leaves you, well, not an easy second shot, 3rd shot, 4th shot, you name it. It's not easy.
So his chance may be gone, but Brown could still have a hope if he can make this one.
Oh, he read the line perfectly and then didn't hit it. It's just been a bit of a trudge up this 18th hole for Brown. He'll be disappointed to sign off with a bogey.
Yeah, slow start for him, but he gradually picked up the pace, burst into life with 5 birdies on the back 9. Just a shame about that 5 at the last, but still an excellent finish, 66 for Will Brown.
There's your knee knocker. for back-to-back birdies for Mark. He gets it.
He's birdied it in every round and he goes one clear again. And there's confirmation of it. Steve Surrey now finds himself trailing with 2 holes to go. James Cooper's got 2 strokes to make up over the closing 5 holes. Will Brown in with that 66. He's posted the target. James Ruth looking to birdie the last in order to better it. Back-to-back birdies at the par 5s then, putting Young back in charge here with 6 to play at Cumberwell Park. Just a week on from his breakthrough title at Clevedon, Mark Young is closing in on becoming the first multiple winner on the Europro Tour this season. He's just parred the 13th to stay at 14 under par and remains 1 clear of Steve Surrey, who's got 2 to go. Also a par on 14 for the teenage amateur James Cooper. He's still got hopes of winning this title. He's 2 behind. And let's go out to Steve Surrey now on the 17th hole.
Yeah, and he's obviously had a pop at it. He's down on that left-hand side. Not sure if he's quietly in the bunker. I think he is. He's giving it a few waggles with the feet, getting a stance. Yes. Oh, it's come out nicely. Oh, nearly went in on the second bounce.
It was a better shot than the result.
Yes, it was indeed. Gaz, you're not wrong there. Now, this is a hard one for James. Off the left-hand side, along the top. Going to get pacey at the end. Oh, it's tracking. Oh, it died a pace at the end.
Well, that was to set a new clubhouse target. Didn't quite manage it.
Don't worry about it. Hi, James.
The Eagle on 11 stands out, and it came during his best spell of the round. Despite a couple of dropped shots, he still manages to close the week with a 66. So it's going to be another good finish for James Ruth.
Well, here we are, 14, and I tell you what, not the longest bad boy, you know, 378 yards, par 4. I mean, it's 244 yards to reach the pond on the right-hand side, but the boys, I don't think, really and honestly, they're going to be wanting to hit driver because look how tight that is, and it slopes all the way down to the pond on that right-hand side. I mean, it's a cracking hole, but the boys will be hitting no more than 4 irons off this tee to this area, and that is all it is. You know, they're coming in to this hole then to a really peculiar green. It's loads of subtle shapes to it, little plateaus to it. You've got a big bunker at the back of the green, so say last day that bunker's back there. I tell you, when they go slightly long, that's going to be a hazardous up and down, but really inviting flag, especially that one today on the right-hand side short. It feels like you can send it past and do the crowd pleaser back to the pin. I'm just in the region of about, I got to say, 120, 125 yards. I'm just thinking pitch and wedge, fly all the way, got a bit of breeze into my face. Yeah. I think it's time to make one dance, don't you? Now, here we go. Nice inviting pin. This is what the boys are going to face. They're going to like this hole. Now, nice and clean off the top. Has it got the line and the length? It's got the length, I feel. A little bit left of the pin, but it'll do. And the boys, I tell you what, birdie chances galore.
And here we have Mark Young on the 14th, playing from just out the semi-rough, ball below his feet, over the lake. And looks to have got a good contact. He's on the green, but that is some considerable distance from the hole. It's always difficult, and the more lofted the club, the harder it is, John, isn't it, from here to stay down on the ball and control it. That's
yeah, it is, Gary. But I tell you what a tough pin position that is at 14. As we see Surrey here, can he hold this putt coming back for his birdie? Oh, he can't believe it's just dived to the right.
Would have been his 7th birdie of the day, and it would have put him in a tie for the lead, so he stays 1 back, boarding the 18th tee.
And here we are having a look at the 18th. Only 374 yards, but it climbs quite steeply uphill to the clubhouse. As you can see, all these bunkers lurking on the right. Not these early ones are going to affect these players, but the ones we're passing now can certainly catch a tee shot that goes out to the right. Don't want to go left because it's out of bounds over there. And the green has a big slope from the back to the front, so getting the distance right makes the putting a bit easier. A good finishing hole.
And you've really got to feel that Steve Surrey needs to birdie it, and he did birdie it in the second round.
Looks to be out with the long iron. Interesting move. Looks like it's headed to the right-hand side. Big bank there. Bunkers lurking. Off the bank she comes, and bunker bound up against the face.
Young has to come up a considerable tier in the green here. He's struggled a little bit on the greens today, and this is no easy two-putt. But as it is, with a one-stroke lead, pars should be good enough. Everyone else has holes running out. He's in the final pairing. If he knows where he stands, he can take it easy, keep it controlled, and pick up a couple of birdies on the more scoreable holes yet to come.
I love Kip's optimism. If he can take it easy.
Yeah, and this is that tier he's talking about there, Gary, and a lengthy putt to that. Going to be very slow up there. His playing partner, James Fraser, holding the flag. He keeps it below the hole, and a couple of feet to go to save his par. That breeze just keeping him nice and cool, though.
It's a very different challenge for him today, isn't it, John? Last week he was coming from behind. He was a few groups from the last group. Today he's leading from the front, and it's shown a bit, I think, in his demeanour.
Yeah, I mean, also the pressure. He missed a few putts as well. He wasn't doing that at Clevedon, and that one, well, for Steve, looks like it's come up a bit short and right and found another bunker. Cooper in a spot of bother here, Gary.
Yeah, this is an awkward one. Did well because his right foot slipped just as he was making contact with that.
God, what a shot. Go on, show your face. Oh, that's just gone down on the right-hand side.
That was a fine effort from there, though, on this really tough hole.
And look at that. It's quite nice to see the local support coming out, following Cooper. The young buck, 18 years old. Not bad, is it?
This is Mark Young, only been a pro since the age of 33. Represents Longridge Golf Club, whose members were instrumental in persuading him to turn pro. And his favourite player, the two-time Open champion and two-time US Open champion, Ernie Els.
You came from behind last week. You're the man with the target on the back at the top of the leaderboard today. Does that feel much different?
It's a different mindset. Last week I had to get off to a fast start to give myself any chance, which I did. This week, well, we'll see what happens. I'll be going at my normal game plan again. Just hit it in the fairway and go at the flags.
You're already top of the order of merit. A win here would obviously put you in a very good position going for that top 5 in the Challenge Tour cards. Yeah. Even early in the season, how much is that on your mind?
Yeah, I'd be wrong in saying I haven't thought about it. A win would give me 1 foot in the Challenge Tour, which again is what I set out at the start of the season. Yeah, so give it my best and see what happens.
He's missed a few birdie putts today from this sort of range.
Yeah, but this one's for par. Can he get the par putt? Pressure's on. He gets it. Good smooth stroke there from Mark. Very positive.
And as we've seen already, a couple of players bunker to bunker. And what can Steve Surrey do from here?
Oh, he's played a beauty, Gary.
He had. Oh, that is a bit of local knowledge because he knew how to use the slopes there. Well done, sir.
If he makes that putt and goes on to win, that could go down as the shot of the day.
Yeah, definitely. Now Cooper just shy and right, putting it up onto the green. Shows its face, should break a little bit more left to right. Oh, but he didn't hit it. Bit of work to be done.
So this could be the make or break. Just outside the left lip, I fancy. Wall of death, but woo.
Yeah, done his lap of honour, but it's gone. And look at that flawless round of golf. All the birdies, loads of pars, 65, 13 under par in the clubhouse.
Yeah, it's his best round of the week. He set the target. 5 birdies and 6 holes around the turn was the foundation of that score. Cooper with a little tester for par here, which he's made. Now this complex is owned by the James family, and Kit has been talking to Lucy.
Lucy, we're joined by this magnificent owl just here. Can you tell us a bit about why it's here at Cumberwell Park, please?
It's part of a owl trail. There's 80 owls around the Bath area, and it's all in aid of charity. So we commissioned this to be here for 3 months, and hopefully people will come and visit the owl, visit the facilities here, and yeah, enjoy looking at the paintings on the owl.
Thanks, Lucy. We're all having an absolute hoot here at Cumberwell Park, so let's get back to the action.
How much do you think it will help Mark Young in this situation, guys, that he now has that experience of winning from just 7 days ago?
Massive. I mean, that winning mentality for him now. All he's seeing is a checkered flag at the end of it. He knows he can win now. It's just getting that, you know, first win, getting over that line. And here he is at the tough 15th, bending one from left to right, outward driver, being bold and brave. And well, look at this one, scamper on, getting that funnel now. This is gaining some serious yardage. And he's going to be going in with a flick, Gary.
He certainly is, John. I have to say this is a really key part in this drive, because he's got his own individual swing, but he's keeping his composure and he's really pinged one down there.
It's a cracking drive from our leader Young here on the 15th. He's left himself 127 yards, but it's downwind and it's not a pin you want to mess with. Anything just right of this and there's every danger it slides off into that bunker. Aim for the middle. If you get a touch of fade towards it, that's just a bonus.
It's the longest of the par 4s here. It's actually only about 10 yards shorter than the par 5 11th.
He's out a very lofted club as well. Pins at the front right, coming in nice and high, get some spin, take all the trouble out of play, be aiming it's just left of the pin like that. Getting the control, and that's a lovely shot. And look at that. I mean, he's going in with like a 56 degree here, Gary.
Yeah, it just shows you get one of those once every 10-year English summers and take advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Now, that wind swirling around here at 16. Here's Cooper. He's played this one a million times.
Probably going to need to birdie 2 of the last 3, maybe all 3 of them, and even that mightn't be enough.
Yeah, not easy, but that would have looked nice over the flag, just on the left-hand side of it. A little bit long, as we see Lee here. His second shot to the last in the semi. Nice swing, very simple.
Hasn't quite sustained the challenge, but still such a memorable week for the young man.
It's a great addition here at Cumberwell, the fact that, you know, Director of Golf Head Pro John Jacobs is such a highly respected coach as well, so all augurs well.
Yeah, you're right there. Lovely chap, as we see. Local Lamb just racing one a little bit by. Little knee knocker coming back, and Fraser in the bunker at 15 down the right. This is third. Splash that out, takes too much sand again, a bit too steep.
Yeah, sad it just hasn't been once again for James Fraser.
Yeah, he's one of those players you thought would have had a couple of wins under his belt by now, but it hasn't happened.
This man got 1 win under his belt a few weeks ago, hasn't really been playing great since then, and he's fallen away disappointingly today.
Oh, here it goes, here it goes. Oh, the biggest crowd pleaser shot. They love those. All zip back towards the flag, look like they're going in. Oh.
This would be a big one if he managed to roll this in and picked one up. He'll be happy with the par though.
Quite see how that finished, but I think he's got a bit of work to be done. And Cooper gets his par. What an experience he's having here, Gary.
Yeah, it's very useful if you've had that opportunity to play in a different event than you normally play in from top amateur events.
And Lee tracking, and in she pops. What for an amateur. Jamie Lee, 69, finishes 9 under par. What a way to finish. A gobbler.
Yeah, like so many others, it was around the turn where he made the most hay, and that was a good response to a couple of early bogeys, which could have thrown him off course.
Fraser slightly up the hill off the right, and not hit it. Frustrations there, not showing too much emotion. Sure, it's bubbling inside him though.
Fallon, this teeny weeny one to tidy up and finish with another lovely birdie. a round of 71, but not what he would have hoped for.
Young has still dropped only 2 shots in 51 holes this week. And he remains out in front. 14 under par after 15. Steve Surrey now in the clubhouse. Nothing more he can do about it. Just got to hope that Young slips up over this closing stretch. James Cooper, well, he can still have an impact on this, but probably needs a couple of birdies on the last 2 holes to have any real chance. Young just 3 holes from home. Can he close the deal for another win? The climax is next. We're heading for the conclusion of the Cumberwell Park Championship, event number 6 on the PGA Europro Tour this season. And at the moment, it's Mark Young on course for back-to-back wins, which would take him halfway towards that £250,000 bonus for 4 wins in a Europro season. He's 14 under par with 3 holes to go. Steve Surrey sitting in the clubhouse, or maybe out hitting a few shots to stay warm. He's on 13 under and hoping that Young is going to make some sort of mistake somewhere. Well, at this moment, it does look as though 3 pars would get the job done for Young, but as we saw Clevedon to his benefit last week, so much can still happen.
It can indeed. And this is going to be like 8-7 iron with the breeze. It's into their faces, and he's done a great job just right at the stick. That's going to be a little slick one from right to left, and look at this swing, guys.
Yeah, as we can see, a very tremendous amount of wrist hinge there, and he really sort of whips the club into the ball. As we've said before, a little old-fashioned.
Yeah, it's nice. Now the amateur, Cooper, up 17, out with driver, going for it.
Can he finish birdie? He might need to.
Yeah, and this one forever getting better, Michael. Look at it. Scampering, no slowdown ball. Come on, give him a break. Called him up, and he's flown the green. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, great drive. But where's Kit? I think he's at the 16th.
Stunning tee shot from our leader Mark Young there into about 7 feet. It's very slightly downhill, a hair of movement from right to left, but if he keeps it inside the hole and he's aggressive with it, it could be a 2-shot lead with 2 holes to play here at Cumberwell Park.
Ah, look at that little fella. It's funny, you know, little boys and all that, and little girls, if they get too many golf balls, they always put them under their chin. Have you noticed?
No, I haven't, mate, but I'll start looking at that all the time now.
I think he's in the year behind James Cooper in school.
Cool, I tell you what, Kit had that one going slightly from right to left. It actually went the other way. And I tell you, yeah, slight misread there. Mark's not happy. That was a good chance again.
Could have put one hand on the trophy with that one, but just hasn't holed anything like as many putts as he would have expected to with the chances he's given himself today.
Oh, what a bounce.
Well, there you go. You could hear the caddy there. What a bounce. He just pitched it right on the cusp there of the green and the fringe, and it took us a little sideways kick as we see Young forever being aggressive. Out with driver.
I think this is interesting with the shot lead. Is it really worth this risk? Because there's a lot of danger if he doesn't hit it dead straight.
Yeah, you're slightly right. Like where he's gone now, nearly clipping the tree, and that would have been, well, a very painful position.
Yeah, I mean, he's got lucky there, and he's come through and he's fine. But if that ball had finished 6 feet further back behind that fir tree, he's just given away the advantage for no reason.
No, you're right. Now, Fraser can easily reach well within his power. Out with driver, teeing it high and letting it fly. And look at that, good swing. And he's staring it down. Is it leaking a bit right? He seems to be leaning a bit. Oh no, he's got it. But this, another one scampering over the green. Past Cooper and down the slope. Stay there. Ooh, nearly in the hazard. Good strong swing this though, Gary.
Yeah, no, I think that James Fraser, I've watched him a bit. I think he's got a very strong, very powerful man. And as I say, you know, sometimes it happens, sometimes it just doesn't.
And done after that back kick on the fringe. Oh, doesn't get it. That's going to hurt. He's had 2 chances where he's hit great shots, got him on the green or thereabouts, and he's walked away with a par, and it feels like a bogey.
Young has left himself a tricky little pitch into the green here on 17. He's coming out of the rough and from a poor angle. He's going to have very little green to work with and downwind. The only way he can stop it, flop it high up in the air. Even with that, he's got to aim left of this pin from where he is, hit the green and hope the flat stick behaves for once.
Well, there's your light, nestled down a little bit. He's going to have to gauge this one out. Like Kit said, he needs some serious height, aiming just left of the flag. Glided it underneath it, sounded a bit bouncy, but he's played an absolute beauty.
That is an absolute gem.
Yeah, so well played that is, and that's confidence for you. I'll put a spring in his step.
Said earlier, if Surrey won, his shot from the bunker on 18 might be the shot of the day. Well, maybe if Young wins, we've just seen the shot of the day.
Yeah, and Robbie Busher, it's been that kind of day for him. Everything's just slid by. It's not quite been his day.
Yeah, it's a 72 for him. Finishes 8 under. Set for a top 10 finish, though.
So, back to where we left James Fraser, having scuttled over the back of this green with his tee shot. There's a nice chip, but it's so awkward from there. You land on that crusty old fringe there, and the ball can be kicked anywhere, as we see.
Well, I thought I'd come over and test myself up 18. It's about 279, 280 to carry this bunker, right, off the tee. So well within reach for the chaps. And you just think, right, you've just leaked it out right, it's headed that way, the ball just hits the top there, rolls back down, and you're left with, well, not something you really want when you're chasing birdie down the stretch to win the tournament. I mean, if you need par, still, you know, this is not easy. I mean, you're up against the lip. You know, you need to do a bit of a sandy lull, nip it off the top nice and beautifully and go on and win the Masters. But this one, the green slopes back at you as well, from right to left to the front left portion of the green. You're going to have big crowds around it. The pressure's on. You want to win your 10 grand, especially, say, one of the boys that have already won one, they're chasing their second. They want that £250,000. Or maybe they're on for a 59. Imagine that, you need a birdie. You're in air for a 59 to get the 59 grand. My goodness, you'd be quaking in your boots. Now, I'm in this one, I'm thinking I've got quite a lofted club. I've got about 80, 90 yards to the flag. And I'm thinking, right, I can easily get it up. So am I going to punch it or am I going to nip it off the top? I'm going to punch it because I think I can carry that. I've got a 56 degree. And the way I'm going to set it, I'm going to probably reduce it to about 54. I can give it a good old heave-ho, I tell you. Now, down the right-hand side, take it over the bunkers, bit of spin. Could be pretty dazzly, this one, if it came off. It's a tall order, but let's give it a go. Got it, I've got it, I've got the connection. Has it got the spin for me? Come on, baby, get close. That could be the biggest crowd pleasers, and the boys and girls would go nuts.
Well, with Young probably about to go 15 under, it might not matter very much what Cooper does on the last in terms of the title, but he'll want to finish as well as he can, maybe birdie it and grab a share of second.
You see the crowds following him as well, Mike. Loving it, out with an iron as well, piercing it up the middle of the fairway. Just running down the left side of it. That's a good job, well done there.
I think that's a good spot he's whacked that into.
He's never really looked like getting back into the thick of it after that really bad start he had, Fraser.
No, it's not been easy for him, Mike, but he rolls that one in. And that's a nice birdie. They've been lacking today for Fraser, as we see Cooper coming in from a lovely angle here, Gary.
Yeah, it is a good angle. If you can be brave and take one down that left-hand side, you get as good a look as you're going to get looking up at this green. Cracking shot from down there. Well done, sir.
So what a chance this is for Young. This to get to 15 under. This would leave him without too much to do coming up the last. Oh, that's a key moment, a key up and down.
That is massive. I mean, that was an amazing chip to get it to there. There's the fist pump. That says it all. He goes up there with a nice two-shot lead up 18, and that's a nice little buffer to have.
Certainly is, and that's a great way to overcome the pain of those missed putts earlier in the round.
Now, this would be a nice way to finish. Oh. Crikey, just missing on the left. But what a great tournament for this young lad. As we see Young now getting ready for his final tee shot, you would feel. With that 2-shot lead out with the iron. Good play, this.
If only Jean van der Velde had done that 19 years ago.
Yeah. Paul Lawrie coming up trumps there. And that's not a bad place to be. Now, I just love it how he nearly just misses his shoulder as he starts going through on the downswing and just rips it. Clears out the way nicely. Doesn't hold back.
Yeah, no need to go looking for trouble there in the position he's in. So Cooper hoping this is the last stroke of a memorable week. Just the one drop shot today on 10. He got it straight back at the next. Couldn't make anything really happen after that, but a fine performance from the local amateur. Under 70 in every round.
Young had a massive grin on his face as he looked up at the leaderboard by the 18th tee and saw he had a 2-stroke advantage. He's done exactly what he needed to do down 18. He's found the fairway, and now it's just 96 yards into that pin that is tucked way back right. It's a wonderful scene here. The green is surrounded by Cumberwell Park members. This is what you dream of as a golfer. He can knock it on, 2-putt, and claim back-to-back victories to the warm applause of this fantastic crowd.
It looks like he's going to be halfway to that £250,000 bonus. We saw Chris Lloyd get to 3 wins last year. He had 4 more regular season events, didn't win any of them, and his last chance was at the Tour Championship, had to pull out injured, but maybe Young might do it this season.
That's a fantastic second shot. I mean, it just, all the pressure had gone once he'd hit the fairway there. That's just a wonderful shot to knock it up there to 3 feet. No nerves, just looks like he's faced this shot just like it's in practice. Well, I've hit hundreds of 96-yard pitch shots to within a yard. What do you expect?
Exactly, as we see Fraser here polishing off his par putt. You can see the marker there of Mark Young.
Absolutely horrible start. 3 shots gone in the opening 2 holes. Made up some of that lost ground, but ultimately left himself too much to do. And after what went before, 72 is a disappointing way to finish. But nothing disappointing about this finish.
The magic moment.
Last week he came from behind, this week he's led from the front. And Mark Young is the first multiple winner on the Europro Tour this season. It was a fairly quiet front 9 for him, then back-to-back birdies on 11 and 12 were key, and 2 more birdies to finish it off for a 67 and the title.
Nice to see him doing a few little autographs there for the young folk. Aspiring golfers might see that little boy in the future. You never know.
A 3-shot win then for Young as Surrey posts a runner-up finish on his first Europro appearance of the season. The performances of Cooper and Brown being 3rd and a share of 4th also go to players from the host club, while a tie for 4th continues Ruth's very consistent season. Let's hear from the winner.
Chuffed to bits. I spotted you earlier, so the win would get me one foot in the door challenge tour. I'm nearly there now, nearly reached the goal of the season, so yeah, chuffed to bits.
Steve, 2nd place in your home championship, how do you feel?
A little bit disappointed, but also quite happy. At the start of the week, I'd probably taken 2nd. You know, it's a good week, but you don't get many chances to sort of win on your home course. So I think this is the 2nd time I've come 2nd, so a little bit disappointed.
Hitting the ball well on the front line, but without anything going in the hole. How impressed were you by your own ability to stick with it and finally get some birdies on the back 9?
Yeah, it was very frustrating, front 9. But like I said, I've been hitting it well all week and last week. So the chances are always going to keep coming. If I kept doing that, give myself enough chances back 9, and luckily enough I took some.
£250,000 for 4 wins this season. You're halfway there now. What's the likelihood of that?
Well, it's crossed my mind a couple of times back 9, especially coming up the last. We'll see. I'm not playing next week. I'm going to have a week off, recharge the batteries, and go from there. But I've got a better chance than most.
Young already looks to be heading for the 2019 Challenge Tour and now enjoys a colossal lead over Gain and O'Hara, who both missed the cut here. No changes in position for any of the top 7, but another good week for Ruth takes him up a couple of places to 8th.
It's deja vu all over again for our back-to-back winner, Mark Young. Last week at Clevedon, he came from behind. This week at a gloriously sunny Cumberwell Park, he showed he could lead from the front and got the job done. The Cumberwell Park Mafia applied pressure. Steve Surrey knows how to win around here, and James Cooper, a magnificent performance for an 18-year-old amateur. But in the end, Young had too much for them, and he's halfway to that £250,000 bonus. Please join us next week from Longhurst Hall to see who else can get their hands on a coveted PGA Europro Tour trophy.